You guys have got to want it more than anything in life. If that ball even touches you, I don't care how wet, how sorry you are, how fucking hurt you are, you make the play. Because this is the championship game. And when you don't make those, guess what? You fucking end up losing and you go, what the fuck happened?
Taking you inside the Seattle Mist locker room as we welcome you back to LFL football night. Mitch Mortaza and Bobby Huco here at halftime of the 2017 Legends Cup. And I think we can all agree, if you're a fan of the LFL, that was a very impressive first 20 minutes of football, living up to all the hype.
Absolutely. Great football in the first half. Well-coached teams, franchise quarterbacks, great defenses. This game feels like a rivalry. This is the first time these two teams ever met. Feels like they've been going against each other 20 years. At quarterback, KK Matheny, solid first half, throwing the ball well. On the other side, Dakota Hughes, she started out throwing high balls all the time. She needs to bring them down, settle down here in the second half.
That could be a case of nerves like you and I talked about early in the game. So Dakota Hughes did struggle. When she does struggle, it is offensive coordinator Mark White leaning on the run game, specifically the rookie running back Jessica Salazar, who really delivered for Atlanta in the first half. Defensively, we talked about both defenses coming on late in the season here. They only allowed a combined 32 points. You may think that's a lot of points, but not when you have the kind of offensive firepower on the field that we're seeing tonight. Now I ask you the question, if there is a wild card here that needs to step up in the second half and can make a big impact, who would that be?
For Atlanta, it has to be free agent pickup Jolia Fezekai from Pittsburgh. She had an outstanding year in Pittsburgh. They brought her in here for one reason: catch footballs, take some heat off of Lauren Ziegler. So far, she's choking a little bit, dropping footballs. She needs to step her game up here in the second half.
Jolia Fezekai may have not found the end zone, but a pair of her teammates did, Lauren Ziegler and Jessica Salazar. First, Salazar with a very impressive 20-yard run, evading multiple defenders en route to the end zone. The newly inducted Hall of Famer Lauren Ziegler connecting later on a 6-yard reception from Dakota Hughes. On the Seattle side, it was their playmaker Jade Randall scoring a pair of first half touchdowns. This first one a 35-yard connection, then breaking through multiple arm tackles. Just before the half, Randall and Matheny connecting again, this time from 20 yards out. Stevie Schnorr wrapped up scoring with a 9-yard connection with KK Matheny. That brings us to our halftime score of 14-18. Seattle with the edge as we look at the first half stats.
The difference has been fourth down conversions. Atlanta was a mere 2 out of 4, while Seattle was 1 out of 2. Atlanta's been able to move the football. They just can't get into the end zone consistently.
Atlanta certainly has the weapons to get back into this game. It's the Legends Cup. Atlanta, Seattle, both fighting for their place in the history books. The second half kickoff is next.
LFL Mobile, giving you access to the gridiron goddesses of the LFL with exclusive photos, videos, live game reporting, and fan promotions. LFL Mobile. Download on your Android or iPhone.
Back to Legends Cup 2017 as we look at our two starting quarterbacks.
As you can tell, they both are almost even on attempts and completions, but the big number is KK Matheny for Seattle, 3 first half touchdown passes.
This will be Kiara Williams of Seattle getting us underway. A nice high kick into the end zone, sailing and hitting the back wall. Very smartly, Jessie Locklear electing to take a knee, as Atlanta's offense will now take over at its own 15-yard line.
Big offensive series for Dakota Hughes and the Atlanta team here. They need points on the board. They started out on fire after that first touchdown by Seattle. They looked good. And then Seattle late in the game, late in the first half, took over the lead. Hughes has to come through right now in this series.
A 1st and 10, Brittany Demery in the backfield. The ball's going to go to Jessica Salazar. And you know they looked at her at halftime and made the adjustment. Danielle Hawkins on the tackle. A gain of only a yard.
Defensive coordinator David Price, he did make the adjustment at halftime, I guarantee it. He's one of the best in the league. He made the adjustment. Salazar's had that 20-yard touchdown. Not going to happen here early in the third quarter.
This Atlanta team has really struggled with the passing game. The only success they've had has been with Jessie Locklear, Brittany Demery, and Jessica Salazar. This time Locklear in the backfield. They're going to fake it to Locklear, intended for Lauren Ziegler. That'll fall incomplete and set up a 3rd and 9.
That should have been an easy completion. Ziegler was open, get the ball to her, easy pitch and catch. They're not making it happen. They're not clicking. I'm not sure what's wrong with his passing game.
They're going to need it here on a 3rd and 9. This Seattle defense is really starting to get after Dakota Hughes. Hughes in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff again, going to Lauren Ziegler, this time connecting on a very identical play. That is a gain of 6 yards. That'll set up a more manageable 4th and 3. That is Dane Robinson. We talked to him about being an underdog.
I feel like we're always a favorite in any game that we go into, but we're not a Cinderella team. Are we an underdog? Yeah. Are there people that want us to be in this game? Probably not. But tonight we win our first Legends Cup, and it's going to be a great night to be a part of the Atlantis team.
He is right. The majority of the LFL and the LFL fans totally thought Chicago would be here, but they pulled the big upset, and here they are.
A 4th and 3 now for Atlanta's offense. Looking into the flat and connecting. Of all people, that is Jolia Fezekai. We have talked about how much she has struggled in this offense, and when it counted, they called number 15's number.
A real interesting call. You're right. You throw it to a receiver who hasn't caught a ball all night long. I do like the matchup, the 6'1" of Fezekai against the 5'6" Williams. They have a lot of confidence throwing the ball, and she caught it. Got to give her credit.
But on a 4th and 3, if that doesn't connect, you're really setting up Seattle's offense. This is a 1st down option keeper. Dakota Hughes not fooling anybody. That is Michelle Angel on the tackle, limiting Hughes to 1 yard.
Great read by Michelle Angel, the safety. They know that read option. They ran it a lot this year. And in fact, Dakota Hughes had big gainers off of it. As soon as she saw the fake, Angel came up, made a great stop.
Angel, a pretty good story, coming over from Los Angeles, where she was an all-fantasy safety. And we talked about it before, playing with the Dallas Desire last year, being at an all-fantasy quarterback level. Just a great all-around athlete.
Great quarterback, great safety. Right now, leading the league in interceptions.
A 2nd and 9 toss play. That is Brittany Demery finding her way down the field. And look out when she gains any momentum. That was a gain of 7 yards.
She is bad to the bone. When she goes north to south, when she goes head up against a defense, unbelievable.
That was a 7-yard run. This Atlanta offense finally getting some momentum here. And again, it's really being established by the run game, but we did see that big 4th and 3 connection between Dakota Hughes and Fezekai.
I think that's huge. Number one, it gives Fezekai confidence. Her first ball on a 4th down reception. Let's see what happens now.
A 3rd and 2. They're going to keep it in the air. A good-looking slant pattern that time by Lauren Ziegler. A gain of 7. They only needed 2. That'll set up a 1st and goal.
They tried this early in the game and it worked. They faked the inside handoff. It's a quick post underneath the safety in front of Randall. You got to throw a strike, and Hughes did.
That ball was a little behind Lauren Ziegler. We've seen Dakota Hughes really struggle to keep the ball down and lead her receivers. But nonetheless, she connected with Lauren Ziegler. They're setting up a 1st and goal. Their power back, Brittany Demery, gets the toss play. Toss right. Cannot get the edge against Jade Randall.
Jade Randall came up there and did not wrap her arms around her at all. Came up with a shoulder tackle, and Demery ran right through her. Great run by Demery.
A 2nd and goal, ball down to the 2-yard line. Again, you're seeing these offenses at will move the ball up and down the field, but they've kind of struggled and been stymied inside the 10-yard line.
You mentioned Hughes is not sharp right now, but they are moving the football down the field.
Again, a 2nd and goal. Hughes directing some traffic. That looked like Salazar was lined up in the wrong position. Hughes back to pass, trying to find a lane. Nothing there, and all she could do is throw it away.
Ziegler did open up when she came across the end zone, but Hughes was scrambling, trying to do something. When she finally found her, she could not get her the football. Great defensive stop.
Now a 3rd and goal. As the clock continues to run, we are nearing the 4-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. And what has been a very entertaining Legends Cup back and forth.
Seattle coach Chris Michelson cannot be happy with this. Opening up the third quarter, Atlanta going right down the field. Seattle's got the lead, but the defense cannot stop them right now.
A bunch set for Atlanta here on a 3rd and goal. Inside handoff. That is Jessica Salazar. Her 2nd touchdown of the night.
Inside handoff, inside trap. She gets the ball one-on-one against number 7, Michelle Angel. It's just who's the best athlete, who tackles better, who's stronger. Right there, Jessica Salazar.
Melee Ridge wanted nothing to do with Jessica Salazar. They've got a lot of power backs and a lot of momentum coming downhill in Atlanta.
If I was the offensive coordinator, I would keep giving the ball to Salazar.
And that's what they're going to do, trying to get to the goal line. This time, Melee Ridge making the tackle, and they're not going to give them the conversion.
I'm going to tell you what, that was close. She might have broken the plane.
We're going to get another look at it here from the truck. Michelle Angel going low and Melee Ridge going high.
The ruling on the field was that the try was no good. Atlanta has challenged the ruling on the field.
And there you go, Bobby Hugo. You saw something that the Atlanta bench did. They think they crossed the plane here. That is a tough angle from this vantage point. It did not look like the nose of the football broke the plane.
I'll tell you what, that was an unbelievable play by Melee Ridge. It looked like Salazar was going to break the plane. That's just brute strength. You're right, I'm not sure now at that replay if she got in.
That was a quick review by J.C. Holt and company. And here's the verdict.
The ruling on the field stands. The try is no good.
I think that was the right call. It did not look like Jessica Salazar broke the plane. So our score will remain 20-18, Atlanta in the lead. But that's got to be a bit of a confidence boost to that sideline to continue to rally against a formidable opponent like the Seattle Mist.
The Seattle Mist, they won the title 2 years ago. They almost won last year in Chicago. This is the 3rd straight year they're here. Atlanta, you know what? They have no pressure on them. They got over the hump. They beat Chicago. They have nothing to lose. They look good right now.
A 1st and 10 from the 15. Again, Dominique Malloy to the outside. And tackled by Amber Clark, but not before she gained 9 yards.
I love watching Dominique Malloy run the football. She gets to the edge so quick. She runs like a video game. The fastest player in this game. Great to watch.
A 2nd and 1 play. Ball at the 24 of Atlanta. Fakes the handoff to Schnorr, now dumping off. That is complete to Danielle Hawkins. A 14-yard completion, now Seattle on the move.
I really like that call by Coach Chris Michelson. What's Atlanta been doing the last few games on their win streak? They've been blitzing, bringing everybody. Let them come, throw it on a quick release like that, positive yardage.
Now a 1st and 10 toss left. That is Stevie Schnorr cutting back inside. And the Bull, once again in the China shop. Touchdown, Seattle.
The only team I've seen run a sweep like this is the Washington Redskins. Look at the blocking out front. Just a wall for Schnorr to go behind. Then she does the rest, breaks 2 tackles, gets in.
I love the Washington Redskins reference. Granted, it's from the 80s with John Riggins. We haven't done that in about 30 years in Washington.
It looked exactly like that. The perfect design, perfect blocking. They pull out in front of the Schnorr, and she goes in.
Seattle again regaining the lead. This has been a heavyweight fight back and forth. Now the 2-point conversion. This is KK Matheny rolling right and just a little late getting the ball to Schnorr. That'll be intercepted in the end zone by Brittany Demery, keeping our score 24-20 Seattle.
I mean, I just don't get it. Let's wait until somebody covers her. That's the motto.
Coach Michelson told me this before the game. Even though KK Matheny's an elite quarterback, every game on plays like that, she throws the ball too late. The receiver's open. She waits till they're covered, then throws it.
A 1st and 10 Atlanta now back on the field. From the shotgun, Hughes pump fakes. Now throwing down the field, has a receiver. And that is Lauren Ziegler. You knew it was just a matter of time before these two connected.
It does not get better than that. Tom Brady cannot throw this football any better. She faked it. Ziegler went on a 9 pattern, a go pattern. She was covered like a blanket. The only way you throw it on the outside shoulder deep. Perfect throw. Great catch by Ziegler.
A 33-yard connection between Lauren Ziegler and Dakota Hughes. You saw the arm of Hughes, and that's one of the things I think the offensive coordinator Mark White will tell you, as will Dakota Hughes. It does not matter how many she misses. She's got tunnel vision. She forgets about that. She moves on to the next play. That's a handoff to Jessica Salazar. Melee Rich starting to play some football here. That'll set up a 2nd and goal.
Again, David Price made the adjustment. That play is not working anymore. Melee Rich again came up, stopped Salazar for nothing. Great play.
A 2nd and goal play for this Seattle defense. And perhaps these offenses are starting to wear down these defenses. We're seeing them move the ball up and down the field almost at will.
We have 2 highly rated defenses playing tonight. I really thought there'd be a lot more stops than we're seeing. Right now, it's a windshield wiper game. Each offense going bam, up and down the field.
A 2nd and goal. We are officially under a minute here in the 3rd quarter. Kind of a wishbone set for Atlanta. Dropping back to pass, has Lauren Ziegler in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Lauren Ziegler, she is having an unbelievable night. I don't know how Michelle Angel lets her open. Gets right behind her, one-on-one. Hughes puts it out there in the corner. More points for Atlanta. They're back in it.
If there's one person you want to keep a second set of eyes on, that's number 14, especially with the way Jolia Fezekai has been struggling and really no other pass receiving option for Dakota Hughes.
Well, you hit the nail on the head right there. Fezekai, that acquisition, even though she's dropping some balls, they have to respect her because of her speed and her height, and that leaves Ziegler open one-on-one.
This is a 2-point attempt by the Atlanta Steam. Brittany Demery down to the goal line, and they're going to give her the conversion. What an answer by Atlanta.
Brittany Demery, just like the bus, taking the kids to school. 2 yards for her is nothing, even if she's carrying half the defense on her shoulders.
So Atlanta answering Seattle's drive with a 3-play, 35-yard drive of their own, capped by this amazing run by Brittany Demery. A run of sheer will. We saw that earlier in the first half by Jade Randall breaking through arm tackles. They know they're playing in a special game tonight.
This is a special game. This is living up to all the expectations for both teams and the league. This is football at its best.
A 1st and 10, Seattle back down the field. And what about the deflection by Amber Clark? Safe to say Atlanta's found a corner.
I like the call, one-on-one, Randall against Clark. You would think Randall would have the edge, being the league MVP last year, but no, Clark. We talked about her in the pregame. One-on-one coverage, she's at the top of the league.
That'll do it for the 3rd quarter. Ziegler and Atlanta surging back.